Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am back with the spiral half square triangle quilt that I am making. This guy right here. If you're not familiar with this series, there is a playlist link down below in the description box. Go watch the first 2 episodes and then come back. This will be the final episode. I'm nowhere near done, but I will be by the time this video is over. I have all my half square triangles made. This was so relaxing. I just liked it so much. I have a few of my portions of the quilt finished. I just wanted to remind you guys that I am making only a little part of this big quilt, this part right here. And I'm going to explain to you my system, and I just wanted to show you how it can look funky when you're putting these two together, but not to worry about it. So first of all, my system. I decided to do this in, just portions. I don't know, I decided to go down one side. So we're going to be making this section right here. What I do first is I take my marker and I'm just going to mark the section that I'm doing. So I know that's where I'm working, right there. And now on the table, where are you? Over there, right beside me. I am going to set this up, these 8 half square triangles. I have this section on the table right next to me, and I'm ready to put it together. I need a pointer. So fancy. I'm going to start with this piece and this piece, and I'm going to sew that right before your very eyes. When I pick up my pieces, I always pinch the side where I'm going to be sewing. So I know, no matter what I do right now, I know this is where I'm sewing. And I'm just going to try to match these up as best as I can. And I want to show you how it looks funky until we join to another block. And I didn't cut my dog ears because why? Why bother taking the time to do that? You certainly can if you want to, but I don't need to. And I'm going to just sew. Now, because I feel like working on an assembly line, I am going to go ahead and take the next 2 right there. And I'm going to sew those together. I'm going to snip this one and open it up and finger press, and I'm going to lay it back down. But see, I want you to see at the top there how it doesn't look like it's matching up. The brown and the gold looks funky, and a little bit on the bottom too. But that's going to get caught in the seam allowance when we join to the other part. So don't worry about that if you think you're crooked. I actually took my very first ones apart thinking I did this wrong. And then I was like, no, the seam allowance will take care of that. So I'm just going to go lay this back down. I'm looking at my grid. And now I'm going to take these 2 and pass those through. I didn't trim my squares. You are certainly more than welcome to do that, but there's a lot of them. So I just kind of eyeball it and say, okay, that looks about right. I don't know. That's how I have to talk when I'm eyeballing. That looks about right. Take this guy off, open it up. And once again, see how it's funky there at the top? Make sure, I'm going to look at my grid, and that goes there. Now I'm taking those last 2 squares, and I'm putting these together. I want to continue chain piecing, so these 2 are sewn together, and these 2 are sewn together. So I'm going to send those through. I'm just going to connect them. And I know this is the edge I'm sewing, and I'm just going to try to match up the intersection part. And I'm not going to worry if it doesn't look even on the outside edges. I'm just going with the intersection. That's my best bet. Let's see, I'll flip this seam down and this one up. And I'm not overly concerned about being perfect here. Although I'm acting like I'm overly concerned. Let's go! Let's get this guy off. You save so much thread doing it this way, and it's just so much easier. Thread's not expensive, so what do you care? I don't care about the price of thread. I care about how often I have to spin a bobbin. I'd like to avoid that if possible. Let's finish this guy. Now I'm putting this chunk together. These two. Let's take this one off and see how we did. Look. Now see that very center? Looks pretty damned good, I think. Don't you? I think I did a good job. Now I gotta lay it down the right way. It's going to go like this. Let's finish this guy. Now it's time to sew this 4 patch to the other one. And we're done that section. That was very quick and easy. I like to do pieces about this size. It's easy to manage. It's not too much at any one time under the machine. Of course, we will be joining them, but you know, this is how I decided to do it. And then what I do is I scribble it out just because I like to scribble. And then I put a big fat number on there, and this one is number 4. So I know I'm done. The reason I don't scribble with this is because I want to be able to see my pattern underneath. I don't know. I didn't have to scribble, did I? I could have skipped that step. Leave me alone. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. And now I need a number on this thing. Making sure I have it in the right direction. And we have a number 4. And I put that always on the top left. Right there, so I can see it. So I'm done my 4th one. I am going to completely finish this now and put it together. And then when I come back, we should be done. I'm also going to put a border. I don't think I'm going to bother showing you that. I think I'll just do it. I'm going to do a border in brown since I have more of that. I don't know yet how wide I'm going to make it. Next time you see it, it should be on the bed. It'll be tomorrow for me, but for you, it's coming right now. I lied. You're already seeing me again. Because I did want to show you this funky intersection. See, that one isn't matching up that great at all. But, you know, at a distance, it's going to still look okay. This one didn't either. Not that great. Not perfect. I don't expect things to be perfect, but, you know, this one was pretty good, so 1 out of 3 isn't bad, right? Just don't worry about it. I love it. It's the next day and I am done. It's on the bed. It's beautiful. Before I show it to you, I want to explain again that I did just a portion of this quilt. Right there, I started in 1 row and then down 1. And then I went 8 across by 11 down. You can do any portion you want, and you can do as many or as few rows as you want. Mine turned out to be 56.5 inches wide by 73 inches long after the border. I did a 6.5 inch border. That's what I cut my strips as, 6.5 inches. Another thing, if you take a portion of this, you need to just count how many squares total that you need of half square triangles. I had 8 by 11, so I just multiply 8 times 11, that's 88. That's how many half square triangles I need. But 2 squares make 2 half square triangles. So you figure out how many half square triangles you need, cut that in half. I needed 88, half of that is 44, so I needed 44 dark squares, 44 light squares. That's how you figure out how many you need and whatever size you need. I don't know if anybody would want to do 8-inch blocks. I did 6.5-inch squares is what I started with. And I only made this much of it, and it's pretty big. So, you know, it might be big enough if you use 6.5. Okay, let's go look at it. Look, I love it. Can you tell? I'm trying to get you to see the spiral, and I purposely did the spiral off center, which I really like. Oh my goodness, I just love it. I'm so happy I had to go with the gold color with the brown. I just really like it. The brown has a lot of pink in it and some green. The gold has aqua, and you know, that didn't really seem to go together great, but it came out so nice. So you can see I just did one border all the way around it, and it is pretty big, like I said. I have a lot of not perfect intersections. Let's see if I can show you some. Okay, see here, there's a step. I mean, I'm sure that that's how it is most everywhere. That's not matched up right. I know the lighting isn't good when I hold the camera down like this. Not matched up. But you'd never know when looking at it from a distance. So just don't let people go up close. I just love it so much. I hope you do too. I don't want you to think this is a complicated one. Seriously, all you have to do is follow the squares. And again, you can see that I did one whole side first and then the other. I really liked that, and then I just connected those two halves together. This is going to be up on eBay starting at a penny in my penny auctions. Go check out the link down below. Inside the USA does not pay shipping. Outside of the USA has to pay shipping. And you can do an estimated shipping charge right there on the eBay listing. So go check it out. Make sure you always read the descriptions. There are descriptions. If you're on a device, you might not see that. You have to push read more or see more or something like that. Click that, read. You need to read. And then if you like what you read, you are welcome to bid. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will be back with more soon. Bye.